All right, Mike, I want to pivot to the East Cape. We've seen a lot going on. It's funny, when my boss, I'll tell him, I'm like, man, it's crazy how little there is on East Cape.
Yes.
And he's taking boats up to Loretto, and he's like, Fletcher, and it's crazy how much it's happening on the East Cape. You should have seen it 10 or 15 years ago. You've obviously been out here for a while.
Yes.
What do you see going on the East Cape? Why do you like it?
Okay. Well, first of all, the East Cape is beautiful. We're so blessed in Baja Sur because we have such diversity in our state, right? We have the Pacific Ocean, which is a whole different environment with its sunsets and its cool water and its fantastic surfing. And then we have this sweet spot down here in the corridor, which is idyllic climate. And then we have the East Cape, which is actually around on the Sea of Cortez side. So now the water calms down. And we refer to it some days as Lake of Cortez. And so, although there are fantastic surfing spots on the southern end of the Cape, the more we travel up the Cape, the more beautiful, the more calm the water, these gorgeous, pristine bays. And of course, we have a natural wonder out there. We have Cabo Polo, which is our national underwater marine park, designated in 1994. And so this marine park, which is huge, runs for probably 6, 7 miles of coastline and 4 or 5 miles out into the ocean, and houses the only living coral reef on this side of the Pacific Ocean. It's drop dead gorgeous. And it's right here in our county in Los Cabos. And above Cabo Polo, we start getting into the East Cape communities of La Ribera and Los Barriles. And so what was the past and what is the future? Well, the past is still very much the East Cape. It's very rural. It's beautiful. It's a dirt road. It's 60 miles of dirt road. And we're starting to pave in from the ends. So you can see growth of the pavement from San Jose, and you'll start to see growth of pavement coming down from Los Barriles and La Ribera. And so it's fantastic fishing on that side, great surfing on the southern end, snorkeling and diving, unbelievable beaches that are run for miles. You don't see anybody. It's rural, so we go in our four-wheel drive SUVs and pickup trucks, or we break out our toys, which is our dune buggies and our four-wheelers and our motorcycles. And so it's a place where you love nature and that you are experiencing all these wonderful things related to that. And so now what is happening? It's very simple. The corridor between San Jose del Cabo and Cabo San Lucas is full of gorgeous developments. It's over. There's no more room. So all these big major developments are already called for, designated. That is putting the pressure on the Pacific and on the eastern side. And so we're seeing this demand from the foreign community mainly that want to come and retire in Baja California Sur. And it's moving up our coastlines. And they're discovering the beauty of Todos Santos and Pescadero and the wonderful life that is on the Pacific with our farming communities and the fresher climate. And at the same time, they're discovering the eastern side. And now the big boys are coming. So in comes Iron Gate from Los Angeles and has developed the beautiful Costa Palmas development in the middle of nowhere, La Ribera, East Cape.
Probably when they started that, like people thought they were crazy, right? Like
Amazing,
why
no, Charlie?
go there?
And just really in just the last 6, 7 years, What do they have there now? The 5-star, Four Seasons, Costa Palmas, absolutely drop-dead gorgeous hotel, a luxury private marina, the Aman Hotel, the Amanari.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's not 5-star, that's 6. The Aman, and speaking to your point, Charlie, it's funny because I went on the Aman website. There's not a lot of Amans.
Yes.
12, 15. And they're in the most important places in the world, right? Phuket and all of these amazing locations
Very-
around the world. And then at the bottom it says La Rivera. Can you imagine? Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
And it's a jewel what they've done there with their golf courses in and the marinas in, and the Aman is mostly sold out. And it's going to open next year. The Four Seasons is 2-3 years mature now. The marina filling up. They're building this incredible village, a pedestrian village that is already open and houses a wonderful restaurant there, Mosa.
Yeah.
New condominiums are coming alive in the village. People are owning homes in the marina with your yacht
Right
parked
there.
in the backyard. And these are branded Four-Season homes, just amazing. So what a transition from A to Z. That's an example. So now that's got the attention of everybody else. So we will now see the growth of the East Cape as we have seen here in the corridor. I think we're going to see low density, sustainable development on the East Cape. All of us here in the development community, all of the people here in the state and federal government, we're all pulling in the same direction. Sustainability is not just some buzzword, it's a reality.
Because I mean, even a lot of people just use it as like the marketing concept, right?
It's not a brochure
Yeah.
filler.
Or-
It is a reality. And on the East Cape, we have challenges. It's more arid. It's more desert. Less water. We have to find new ways to secure water from the Sierra La Laguna, which can be done with big infrastructure and proper dams. We have 2 dams, we need 10. And they're beautiful, they end up being lakes. And we know that desal is an important part of our lives here. We know that lower densities are lower impact on environment. Why don't we consolidate our development and leave vast open spaces? Does every resort need a golf course? No. So what I think will happen is the marketplace is telling us that maybe we don't need McMansions anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe the products are a little smaller. If you speak with the millennials who have lots of money, they inherited well, they earn well. But when you speak with that group, they don't need a 10-bedroom McMansion up in
I think
Aspen and
now well they go more for for the experience,
it's about the
like your
experience.
experience, like the service, and same thing. Like I think like service here in Los Cabos is something that also puts us aside from like other destinations.
100%.
And I hear is like all the time, like people are shocked at like how good of service like we get when they got there.
It means everything. And that was the third wheel in the old days when we talked early with that white canvas. Okay, marketing side, secure this. Okay, developers, build high-end product. Okay, service industry. You're the third wheel.
Yeah.
You, the hoteliers. You, the property managers. So what has evolved? I mean, you look at Los Cabos, and it's a who's who of the finest developments in the world.
Yeah.
And resorts. I mean, you look at the names Ritz-Carlton, Montage, Auberge, Waldorf Astoria, Amman, St. Regis. It's a playbook of the finest properties and developers, hoteliers in the world. All those boardrooms made decisions to come here. And they brought with them the level of service and sophistication that we've grown accustomed to. And so when our guests arrive here and see the natural beauty combined with the quality of infrastructure development, combined with the level of service, we sell lots of real estate.
I want to go back to the sustainability.
Yes.
You know, I have an agent that did a market update video on the East Cape, you know, about like what's selling and whatnot. And the comments were like, sad face, you know, like these people are coming in and destroying this like bad. It's inevitable that I like what you just said, how like the corridor is full and it's the East Cape is inevitably going to have that. If it's inevitable, we need to do it right.
Yes.
And what is that? For me, that is sustainability, not a buzzword, but, you know, maybe some communities that are, like, say, more affordable as well, not necessarily just these, like, super high-end things. I'm just curious how you see that kind of playing out. Because if it's going to grow out like the corridor, it's not going to be the exact same. We're not talking, like, high-rise. We're talking, you know, I think we still preserve that Baja lifestyle with, like, above you kind of
100%. And to address that, Fletcher, I can tell you it is happening as we speak. And the way it happens is it happens through our governmental office on the municipal and state level, and it happens through our PUD, our planned unit development. So another amazing thing we've done in Los Cabos, unlike most municipalities in this whole country, is we in the private sector and the public sector work hand in hand tirelessly, and we created a plan that we must all live by right now in Cabo San Lucas, San Jose, and the corridor, and you guys are familiar with it. We have certain densities and certain setbacks, and it's very high. We are currently making the new one for the East Cape. So it's going through public comment, it's going through the legal processes, and I can give you some insight. We're sitting at Tortuga Bay. I'm allowed to build 100 rooms per hectare, per 2 acres, 2.5 acres. Out there, it's going to be 10.
Wow, per hectare.
Per hectare. So if a developer buys 3 hectares like I did right here where we sit, I'm allowed to build 300 rooms on this 7.5 acres. I'm not doing it. I'm building low density condos. But the hotel next to me has 300-400 rooms at the Viceroy. It's not going to happen out there. What that means is the developer must buy a big chunk of land, but he might still want to build a hotel down in the corner, but he's not allowed to touch the rest of the land because it offsets the... So, okay, I want to build a 100-room hotel. Okay, where's your 10 hectares? Where's your 25 acres set aside? And you can go ahead and put the hotel down there on that postage stamp. Furthermore, where's your housing? Where's your lower end part of your master plan? Where's your beach access for the public? Which has always been a challenge on some of the developments we've done earlier, and they're behind the Iron Gate. So as we speak, Fletcher, we are in the thick of things, and I can relate to, you guys will know how serious it is. Not many years ago, a major Spanish development company that owns 9 kilometers of beachfront out there, called themselves Cabo Corridor, presented a master plan that was bigger than Cancun, 2 marinas, 4 golf courses, 12 monster hotels. They got permits for it all the way up through the federal level. And on the last day of office, the president of our country, I believe it was Mr. Calderon, canceled all the permits, shut down the entire development and said, no way, not on my watch, and now not on the next guy. And he canceled it, and the two of you know that story. And he said so because there was a worldwide outcry. We have that coral reef there, and we have that Cabo Pulmo Marine Park, and this development wasn't far away. The Spaniards went bankrupt. They sold it to the new buyer. The new buyer came back and said, okay, we were only kidding. No marinas, 2 golf courses, 2 hotels. No, not yet. Rejected. Okay, how about 1 hotel and a big open space and gardens? You were getting closer. So it's happening in real time.
It's good.
And the only way to make it work is to get that planned unit development organized and recorded on the East Cape. That's the only mechanism of protection, truly, that disallows any monkey business, if I might. And so the East Cape, I think, will always remain that way. As developers, we have to realize the reason why the East Cape's so beautiful is because of those reasons.
Yeah.
It's low density and that life experience. The developers understand that now. They better.
I think a place where it got a bit of hand is People Fall.
A perfect example.
Like it just started popping out. I don't know if they have that order from.
There's no plan.
Yeah, and so I kind of like realized that just recently because there's like so much popping out in all kinds of different levels and stuff like that. So I guess like now that you're mentioning that's like super good that's happening because like you shadow with like older well, I don't want to say older, but people that have that been longer in Cabo, right? That are used to like the old Cabo and
Yes.
like relax and stuff. And you talk to them, and this first time they say, like so much people now and this and that. So and it's funny because even though they're coming from like a big city or not, they like the dirt road. They like to see the cows, the donkeys and stuff like that. So I feel that. Now, based on what you said, I mean, that's going to obviously help like, keep that same old Baja lifestyle in that area. Because I think that is like one of the big charms of Baja, no?
100%.
Roads.
Yep.
It's
Like Los Barriles.
yeah, like the Barriles. So, I mean, well, honestly, congratulations, to you guys that are like leading that big project of being able to prevail with both obviously nature most importantly, and then just the concept of Baja. So I think that's.
I think that we're going to prove that sustainability is not a buzzword. It has to be foremost in developers' minds, which is kind of a contradiction, right? When you talk to developers, how can you be a developer and be sustainable? Isn't that a conflict of an oxymoron? No, it's not. And if we don't understand that as humanity, as developers, you can't change it. Once you put something on there, you can't change it. It's there for 100 years, 200 years. So it's so important that you think in advance, like what we've done here. As I've mentioned in today's discussion, this thing we've done over 35 years here. It was pre-thought in great detail, sometimes with lots of tequila in those Saturday meetings.
That's why some streets are kind of crooked.
It might be a little bit, but we got together and we knew what we could envision. And I think there's the same sense of protection of the East Cape. I know there is. I have a home out there on the beach, and I bought it many years ago when the kids were young. And I would go to school every Wednesday. All the kids would have to give the note to the principal that we're going on Friday with the Shivels out to the house. And I would roll in on Friday with like 2 Suburbans, and there'd be 10, 12 kids, my 2, and we load them up, and I take them out to our home out there, which you've been to, Charlie, our home out on the East Cape, and I keep the kids till Monday morning. I drive them back in their uniforms and back into school. Well, the Mexican parents loved me. They had the weekend off without the kids, right? And I had all the kids out there. But Charlie, you know, you've been out to my
Yeah.
home. You've seen the fun,
Oh yeah, of course.
the memories. These kids are now in their mid-20s and they come back to me and they hunt me down and they find me and they tell me, Mr. Shiloh, all these stories and memories. I mean, that's what I think is so important of what we actually do here as real estate agents. We help people buy properties, but we change their lives through that event. And we know that more than they know that at that moment. But later on, they're going to figure out what we already know. And their families and their friends and their photo albums will show the story of how wonderful it was to have made that purchase in Los Cabos and to have that as part of their lives. It's true.
Yeah, no, of course.
It's totally true. People buy, very few sell, if you notice.
Yeah.
And it's later and for a reason. Either we're done using it and we've used it to death, or there's been a reason to sell, but not a lot of people sell their Los Cabos properties.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that we're very fortunate to be in the business where, aside from the commissions we earn, just the joy that comes from that process. And often these become our dear friends, like family. It's just insane. But I've always enjoyed watching that transition of our customers and to talk to them a few years later and say, okay, you can apologize for that push I put on you on that day I was closing them, right? But sometimes we have to push a little bit. Like, don't leave, sit back down, I'm not done here. You guys should own this and I'm not letting you go because I know more than you do. Your lives are going to change. You can afford it. It's just what you're looking for. And that's my advice to everybody. Get involved in this community. Make an investment in this community. I mean, would be our
And that's
overall.
I mean, obviously that's the where, like you said, where we come in and where the professionalism of like Cabo comes in to be able to create those dreams, those memories like to future residents of Cabo, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Mike, we're gonna wrap it up here.
Great.
Any parting words? This has been awesome. It's getting at your wealth of knowledge on the site about preserving the East Cape, but any message towards future buyers or what you see? Cabo's not going anywhere. And when I say Cabo, I mean Baja.
Yeah.
We're here to stay, and any message?
I think that I thought of that even before we had the interview today. And I think what's so exciting right now is that the marketplace is discovering we're more than just Cabo San Lucas. In the state of Baja California Sur, we are La Paz and Todos Santos and the East Cape, and we're Cabo San Lucas and we're San Jose del Cabo, and every one of those things are so entirely different than each other in climate and lifestyle. And I encourage people to come visit our state, go visit those places, and get involved. Join our community. It is life-changing, as I've mentioned, and it's safe and it's secure, and we're going to see to that because we made those commitments in the community. And thank you guys for having me today. I don't often do these. Thank you, Charlie, and thank you, Fletcher.
Are you a Mexican now?
I'm going next week to get my passport. Finally.
Only 35.
Yeah, it's 35 years later. I finally had time
Okay.
to go and take care of that. Yes.
Congratulations.
My two children, of course, were born and raised here in San Jose, and
We'll drink some more tequila.
We're definitely going to need that.
We'll take a picture with it.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Take care.